What's up, guys? This is Lucid Rain, and today we are doing a special episode for Halloween because when this comes out, it will be Halloween. So we are basically gonna do a bunch of horror-centric questions. Not every single one of them is necessarily horror per se, but that's essentially the vibe of all of these questions. So without further ado, I guess we'll get into it. So the first one is what video game or movie has scared you the most?
For me, it would be the first Resident Evil.
What about movie?
What video game or movie? So
Movie-wise, probably Child's Play.
Yeah, that I watched that movie like when I was really young, so that scared
Yeah,
me a lot
same.
too. You know,
And same with Resident Evil. I watched it really. I watched someone play it and played it when I was really young. I was maybe in preschool.
oh my god,
I was maybe 5. So I think
yeah,
let's see
that's pretty bad.
what year did the first Resident Evil come out?
19. I think it was. I feel like it was like 99. I'm not sure. Let me look that up.
Which one were they in the mansion?
the first one,
Where were they at? In the second
96. The second one, they were at a police station.
one? Okay, yeah, it was definitely the first one. I was maybe 4 or 5.
That's pretty bad. I
So
don't
it was
envy
like-
you.
It was like 2000 or 2001. It was one of
Jeez.
those two. And yeah, I had the PlayStation in my room, and it was a shitty little apartment, and my cousin Ryan was playing it in my room. He brought it over and was playing it, and
Jeez.
after that day, I had trouble getting to sleep for like a while.
Yeah, I can imagine. No, I mean, you know, so many people have that experience, like that where they played Resident Evil when they were really young. I didn't play Resident Evil until I was like a little older. The first one I played was Resident Evil 4, and that came out in 2005. So that was quite a bit later. But I was scared of that game too. I didn't beat it, so, but I wasn't like 5. I didn't play it in 2005. I don't think. I think it was, or maybe I did. I'm not sure. 2004, something like that. But let me think. Game that scared me the most. I think the game that scared me the most was the first Dead Space. Have you played Dead Space?
I know enough about it, but I haven't played it. No.
Okay, well, I played Dead Space on when it first came out for PS3, and that game was horrifying. I mean, needless to say, I did not beat that game.
And yeah, I didn't get anywhere in it. I honestly
It's
got
also
like
a difficult
an hour
game, isn't it?
It is kind of difficult, yeah. So I didn't get anywhere in that game. That game was terrifying at the time. It still is, kind of. Not even kind of. It is still scary. I mean, the graphics aren't that good nowadays, but like back then, dude, that shit was scary. And in terms of movie, I think The Grudge scared me the most, cuz I did watch Child's Play like you said, but The Grudge I watched really young too, and that movie scarred me, like, actually. I was so scared of that movie. I don't know why I was even watching that, to be honest.
Have you seen The Grudge? I don't know which one, but
I have seen part of it, but I haven't seen the full thing.
I don't know if I saw. I don't even know which one I saw. I just remember it being scary. But
yeah, okay. We can do the next question.
Alright. If you were in a horror movie, how long do you think you would last?
Ooh, I mean,
I think it would depend on what movie.
it does
I
depend what
think that
movie.
makes a huge. I think that makes
Yeah.
a huge difference.
Yeah, it definitely depends on what movie. If you were in a horror movie. So, I mean, if we're logically speaking, I probably wouldn't last that long because I'm not that physically in shape, so I probably wouldn't be able to run for that long. That's if we're using logic, I probably would not last very long. No.
Let's change it a bit.
Yeah, we
How
can do that.
long do you think you would last in a zombie movie? Oh,
Uh,
yeah, that's not on the list. Okay.
Probably not long. It's the same answer, honestly. Because one, I don't know how to use weaponry, whether that be close quarters or not. And two, I'm not that in shape. So, honestly, I would not last long. So, what do you think?
Like I said, it depends on the movie, and it depends on where I'm at, like geographically. Because if it's a zombie movie and you're somewhere in the country or like deep in the woods where there's not that many people to begin with, the chances of infected people making their way towards you are not that high. I feel like it's
That's
a
true.
weird thing with zombie movies that they don't show is like, how fast do you think they would be able to, get the shit kind of situated and people quarantined? They did a pretty good job with fucking COVID, and that was, nowhere near as gruesome and,
Yeah.
serious. So I feel like they would have a decent response time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think
I
they
feel
probably
like big
would.
cities would be fucked, but
Yeah.
if you're like out in the country or something, you might not even really be
You might not even feel the
affected
effects
that
from it.
much.
Yeah, like you probably will eventually, but if you're really far out there, you might not even really be affected by it. That'd be the one time where like
It's a really good thing to live out there, away from people.
Yeah, and other horror movies, that's just so vague that it would,
Oh yeah,
you
it's
know,
too broad.
yeah, it wouldn't really be answerable
Yeah.
because just the variety.
Yeah. It's fine. We just do the zombie example. So, all right. So the next one is favorite scary video game, not necessarily horror. So it can be just a game that's scary in some way or has creepy vibes to it or anything. It doesn't have to be a horror game necessarily. So
Oddworld for me.
Oddworld does have a pretty dark vibe to it. I never played them before, but I know of the
That
game.
was a another game that scared the shit out of me when I was really little. Like
Really?
around the same time I was, the Resident Evil shit happened. Playing Oddworld, it's just a wasteland. It's dark, depressing.
Yeah, it
There's a
is.
cutscene where it's a bunch of Abe and his friends. I can't remember what their species is called off the top of my head.
I don't
But
remember either.
they like hit a track. Like there's like a train going by and it hits one of them or something, and one of their bones pop out, and they're like, "Oh, a bone. We're close." And I don't know. That just like stuck with me
Oh my
for some
god.
reason. I'm like, the fuck, and yeah, it just kind of creeped me out a little bit. But
Yeah, I
I
can
did
imagine.
enjoy playing them, and they were memorable. And we did get rid of the game, but like since they've all been, updated and re-released to modern, I've played pretty much all of them.
Do you think they're good now, like the new ones? This is an irrelevant question, but I'm just curious.
I mean, they're just remasters mainly, so.
Oh, okay.
I think it's it's a puzzle game essentially.
Right. Yeah. I've played one of them, like ages ago, but that was it. They do seem pretty dark, like pretty dark games.
Yeah, I mean the whole premise is his people are getting served as food,
Yeah, that's
It's
kind
pretty
of crazy.
fucking dark.
So, my favorite scary video game would probably be I don't know. I love Dead Space 1 and 2, and I also really like Resident Evil 4. It's between those two.
I'm surprised you don't have Outlast on that list.
I do like Outlast, but it's not like top 5 or anything for me. Actually, maybe it's like literally number 5. But yeah, Outlast the second one, I a lot. I like the second one more than the first one, and I like them both. Yeah, I'd have to say, I'd have to say Dead Space. I think, but honorable mention, Little Nightmares is I love Little Nightmares. If anyone listening to this knows that game, it's like a side scroller platformer horror game. I hesitate to call it a horror game, but it is creepy. So I don't know what would it be considered, but yeah.
All right. What's your favorite scary story? So I guess that could be like creepypasta story.
Yeah.
You know,
Any urban
legend.
urban legend, yeah, anything. Mine is I forget what the story's called, but I love that story where it's a creepypasta, by the way. I love that story where it's the road that they drive on, and the road continuously gets like more and more scary. And
I like that one too, where it's kind of like you're supposedly granted a wish.
Yeah, you can get anything you want, I think, like one wish or something like that, if you make it to the end of the road. But everyone who tries, like, there's basically no way to make it to the end, and there gets like, you start getting banging on the windows, your radio starts freaking out. It just like fucks with you, and it's a really cool story. I like it a lot. I just can't remember what it's called right now. How about you though?
There's a couple creepypastas and that are connected to the SCP Foundation.
Those are cool.
Have like got to me enough where I'm like thinking about them every once in a while. The one is like this guy that shows up to like weddings and baptisms and different like family events, and just like you understand what he's saying, but he's actually speaking gibberish. And basically it's just like everywhere he goes, people get hyper aggressive and start like attacking each other, kind of a thing. And it's just like, it's like as soon as that guy shows up, everything is fucked. Pretty much.
That's crazy. I think I know that SCP. Did people ever catch on to him? Do you know? Like, or no?
I don't know. Maybe I can search for that. Nah.
I know. I think I know what SCP you're talking about, but yeah.
Let me look up the name. Cousin Johnny.
Oh yeah. I've heard of that. That is a really interesting SCP. It's pretty terrifying because he's basically just an undercover like disaster artist.
Yeah, it's pretty much terrifying.
Alright, I guess I'll do the next one. What's one unusual thing you're afraid of?
I don't really know
Could be
if there's anything unusual. I mean, the dark, I guess.
I mean, yeah, that's not really unusual, but I guess it could be depending on like, are you afraid of the dark, like in your house or everywhere, or like specific places, or what?
Yeah, just in the house, really.
Only in the house? Or
no, because like when I'm in the backyard having a fire and I have my back turned towards like the house, and there's a gate, so there's a point of entry there, and it's like the idea of you having your back turned and someone being able to creep up behind you does like get to me a little bit, where I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know, like
in my house I think I'm okay, but like it depends where, because like my basement and attic are pretty creepy. So like if it was dark if I was in the dark in those places, I'd probably be kind of on edge. But if I was just like in my living room or something in pitch black, I wouldn't really care.
I think it has to do with comfort, to be honest with you.
What?
Like how the dark affects you, and like if you're comfortable with the room and you're in it all the time, you probably are gonna be fine. But
right, yeah, exactly. That does make sense.
If it's like a room, like I don't know, the less time you spend somewhere, the more uncomfortable you're in, and you are when you're in there, I think. Like I don't know if you have like when people have sunrooms and like extra additions to their house that you just tell that can tell the people are never in there. It just has like an emptiness to it.
Yeah, that's very true. Like I kind of feel that
Like
way
it's
about
noticeable.
like small washer rooms and shit like that, and little like sheds and stuff like that, like storage rooms. That kind of stuff kind of always feels weird in the dark. I don't. Yeah, I guess it is kind of a comfort thing. But yeah, the unusual thing I'm afraid of. You're probably gonna laugh at this. I hate mannequins. I can't stand them.
Well, I don't think
I-
that's really an unusual thing to be afraid of. They're the same shape as people, and they're supposed to be inanimate, and then it kind of like your mind plays tricks on you when you're looking at them a lot of the time, where it feels like they're moving or
Yeah,
you know.
I can't stand it. Like that kind of uncanny, like somewhat human but not quite human type shit. Like I can't do it. It scares me more than anything, I think. And some people, like some of my friends, are like, "You're scared of mannequins? Like, what's scary about a mannequin?" And I'm just like, I I can't explain it.
Clearly, they've never watched Doctor Who.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Especially realistic mannequins. That is just horrifying to me. I don't know what it is about them.
Yeah, I mean they're somewhat terrifying.
And they had the DLC for Resident Evil 8 had a mannequin section. Oh my god, dude! Like it was like, oh, that was such a scary part of the game.
Okay, I guess we could do the next one. If you had to choose a horror movie to survive in, which would you choose? So basically, what movie would you think, if you had to be in it, you'd have like the highest chance of actually getting through it alive?
If I had to choose a horror movie to
Yeah, like
survive
you
in,
have
which
to
one would I
choose one.
choose?
And you can't say like, oh, you're just someone like who isn't like not a character in the movie, like a side character just in the world. You have to be in the main like part of the movie. Which one would you choose?
Probably Psycho, because he did not kill majority of the people he was around.
Psycho? Oh wait, which one is Psycho?
American Psycho.
Oh, American Psycho. Yeah, that's. I guess that's true. It's just like a chance that he'll kill you, but
yeah, he
he's
didn't
not
really kill too
guaranteed.
many.
I'm trying to think, like, what's a horror movie that's like not where the monster antagonist is like not that bad? Probably like Annabelle, because like I don't think Annabelle really does much. I could be wrong, but I just remember seeing clips of her just teleporting around and moving and being creepy for sure, but harming people, eh, not
Well, I
exactly.
don't know. I probably would not want to be in one of those movies. I mean, when you're dealing with supernatural shit, it's kind of uneasy and
Yeah, it's
unnerving.
kind of up in
Like,
the air what happens in a supernatural thing, so that's true. I don't know. Some of them are so honestly like maybe Michael Myers, because like you could probably I feel like you could outsmart him or get him like get him get authorities on him or something. I don't know. I feel
don't
like
know.
there's a way out.
He's pretty unstoppable, it seems. So, like, if you don't run into him, you're probably fine. But I mean, he will just kill
Yeah.
you just to kill you, and like, he's pretty much
If he's after you, you're kind of done for.
yeah.
But
If he sees you and wants you dead, or even like doesn't really, pretty much if he sees you and you're not in broad daylight around a bunch of people, you are done for.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he does like care about if he's seen or not. So he's actually not like dumb or anything. But I don't know. I'd probably go with Annabelle on that question.
All right, where are we at? What is the last horror movie antagonist / monster you'd want to run into? So I guess the one that you at least want to
Yeah.
deal with.
Yeah, just the worst possible one. I'm gonna go and say Pennywise from It, because he's basically an unstoppable. Like, he's pretty much the worst of all worlds, because he knows your fear and exploits it. and even if you wanted to kill him or something, you couldn't, because he's like an alien or like some cosmic like entity or something. So you have
Well,
he's basically the worst there could
those
be.
kids did fuck him up, you know.
Yeah,
And
they
the
beat
adults
him
fucked him up
somehow.
in the second movie. I would have to say Freddy Krueger for me, because like
Really?
you can't avoid sleeping, and that's
Yeah,
where he
that's
gets
true.
you. So it's like when you're asleep, that is easily when you're the most vulnerable,
That
and
is
you don't
true.
even have to worry about somebody getting you while you're asleep. They're getting you because you're asleep. Like, that's so
Yeah,
much
that's
different than being asleep and someone stabbing you in the back or something.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
you can wake up if you hear a noise or something. If Freddy Krueger has you in his sights, there's really nothing you can do against him.
Yeah,
I mean,
because you're in like his little world, right? So
yeah,
or like a
you're pretty
dream
much
world or
fucked.
something. So yeah, that is a good one actually.
Yeah, and he pretty much manipulates like that realm. So yeah, pretty much you would just have to try and stay awake. And you're gonna die from that regardless, and that's probably a really painful death of just like
What?
staying awake until you die. Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
probably
that's
horrible.
probably because your everything into your body probably just gonna shut down one by one until you just can't go on anymore. Because I mean, it's been studied that sleep, like you can go a pretty small amount of time without sleep before it actually starts to get to you, and you start having like psychosis and your body starts shutting down. It's not that long of a time, I hear. So
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how long you could last, but probably not more than like
couple weeks, I think.
2-3 weeks.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Pennywise because he's awful.
Yeah, and it definitely wouldn't be fun running across Pennywise, but
Yeah. Alright, I guess I'll do the next one. Where are we? Have you ever played with a Ouija board? If not, would you?
I have not. Probably not, just because I don't really have any interest in fucking with them.
Do you
Like, I
think
don't have a
they're
reason to.
just full of shit? You think they're like not real, or you just don't want them up?
Like bother?
I don't know either way. It
Yeah.
wouldn't really, like, it doesn't matter. It's become kind of like a worn out trope.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the boat of like, I don't know if it's real or not, but just in case it is, I'm not gonna bother with it, because why would I? I've heard stories of people letting things in and not being able to get them out by using a Ouija board, and those stories don't really scare me, but it's the very small chance that it actually does anything that I'm like, why would I bother?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have. It just seems like kind of a whack horror trope at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been around when people are fucking with them, and I was like, okay, it didn't really matter to me too much.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch them personally.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right. What is your weapon of choice in the zombie apocalypse?
See, it's easy to just say a gun, right? But guns are loud, so that probably wouldn't be good. Well, unless you have I guess suppressors exist. So I would say a suppressed automatic weapon, or maybe a suppressed like shotgun, since it's good up close.
I would say.
I think that'd probably be one of the best things you can have.
I'd say an armored car.
I mean, that's not really a weapon though.
Is it?
That's more like
Is it
defense.
not though?
I guess it could be if you're running them over. I guess that counts.
I mean, that's probably the most effective because like you can easily take out large number of them without really being in any danger whatsoever.
Yeah, and also make distance. So
I
that's
mean,
true.
it's essentially like it'd be the same as saying, "Oh, I would get a tank."
Yeah, that's true. A tank. I mean, that's actually worse than a tank. I mean, better than a tank, because tanks are slow. At least, I mean, they're not they're not terribly slow. They're not turtles, but tanks aren't as fast as a car, not by a long shot.
Right, I guess I'll do the next one.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is the one I got online. Whilst watching scary movies, are you the person who yells at the characters, has their eyes covered the entire movie, or the person who falls asleep?
I'm probably closest to the second one. I have my hands over my face, like still watching it, but you know, like you're watching it, but it's like you're obstructing your view a little bit.
Yeah.
Type of shit.
I'm 100% the person who yells at the characters because 9 times out of 10 they have the stupidest characters like imaginable. Just deliberately making the dumbest decisions you can ever think of in any given situation.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch horror movies all that often, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely am probably closer to the second one.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
are you ready? So,
you can do
let's
13.
see. How old were you when you first saw a horror movie?
I was literally like 8 or something. I'm pretty sure, at least. And it was Child's Play. I'm pretty sure. And I was terrified. Yeah, I mean it's a dumb movie nowadays. Like you go back to it and you're like, this is not scary at all. But back then, I mean, of course, it's like actually scary.
I was probably 6 or 7. So
we
not,
we were
not
just
terribly
like
young.
both of us were just like experiencing the most horrifying media like at such a young age.
Yeah,
The
I
fuck
mean,
is up
it
with
wasn't
that?
like someone put it on and I watched it. Like I snuck and watched it, you know.
I might have done the
So
same thing. I don't even remember how I saw it.
it was not something that was like allowed. I
Right.
definitely did that shit when I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, I think it was the same for me. What movie was it? Do you know?
I think it was Child's Play.
Okay. That's a weird kind of similarity. They just both so happen to be Child's Play. I mean, it was around that time, maybe. I don't know. All right. Which is scarier, werewolves or vampires? In your opinion?
I don't know what you would call scarier. I mean, I think it would depend on the context.
Well, if one was out to get you, like per se, and you had to choose which one would you be the most scared of that was out to get you?
Probably werewolf.
That's honestly, I think I'm gonna say vampire, cause
Well, let me
vampire.
tell you why not vampire.
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
could just go in a house and say you're not invited in,
That's true.
and then they can't do anything to you.
That's true, but like,
And then you'd be able to do everything you need during the day,
yeah, that is
because
true.
they wouldn't be able to go to you.
But at the same time, werewolves are only active during a full moon, right?
Yeah, but if you are running into them on a full moon, like that's the only time you're going to encounter them. Whereas
Yeah.
a vampire, you know, one of them's like hyper aggressive, and if it sees you, you're done for. A vampire might be willing to play the long game.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
like,
I was also saying vampire because vampires don't look like anything. They just look like people. Like they're pretty much indistinguishable from a person. So that alone could make them like say you had to go out of your house, like that alone would make them really hard to like trace.
yeah, I guess that could be something. I don't know. I just think like back on playing Skyrim, and werewolf hard to kill, vampire easy to kill.
Yeah. All right. You
One
do
of them
next.
you need a silver bullet. The other one you just need a piece of wood. All right. What do you think is scarier, in the same context, zombies or ghosts.
Yeah, I think that's an obvious one because a ghost typically can't hurt you, so I'd have to say zombies.
Yeah, well, zombies are probably the leading front man in horror movies.
Yeah, unless it's a ghost that's like Samara from The Ring, because then they can kill you. But and if you have to choose between zombies and Samara, I'm picking Samara. Like, cause yeah, it's just way less bad.
Yeah, I mean, zombies just, the problem is they just become more and more and more. So, like, the threat just becomes more and more overwhelming over time. It's not like you can just wait it out.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
the longer it gets, the worse it gets. And
Yeah.
that's kind of like, yeah, so I'd probably agree zombies would be
Yeah, definitely
what I would
zombies.
say.
So this is a weird one, but it's a same kind of thing. Which is scarier, creepy dolls or creepy clowns? In your opinion?
Dolls, undoubtedly.
Really?
Yeah.
Because like, actually, yeah, dolls are. I hate dolls.
Because, like, killer clowns from outer space, like, yeah, they killed people, but that's just, like, such a campy movie. It's like, but I guess you do have, like, Art the Clown and shit like that, so I don't know. I mean,
There's also Pennywise. He's a clown, pretty much. So there's some pretty scary clowns in media, but dolls are also
yeah, those are the worst. I
dolls are
think we can
horrible.
all agree. The
And you know what's weird? I don't
terrifying.
think there's that many like doll horror movies besides Annabelle. Like I can't really think of many.
Dead Silence is a
Oh yeah, Dead
ventriloquist.
Silence. That's true. That was a good
Uh,
movie.
There's quite a few.
Yeah, I couldn't really think of them. But yeah, definitely dolls. Dolls are horrible, and I don't know why people like them. Some people.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. Alright, let me see where we're at. Do you prefer slasher films or thrillers?
That's an easy one. I'd easily say thrillers, cause I don't personally really care for like gory, bloody movies. Like, it does nothing for me. It doesn't scare me, and I prefer a suspenseful like environment, like atmosphere, rather than just senselessly killing everyone. It's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that.
Like Saw movies, they do nothing for me. I don't think they're scary. I think they're just kind of,
They're just uncomfortable.
yeah, they're basically just uncomfortable. Yeah. I don't see what's scary about gore, personally.
Yeah, I mean, gore is scary and jump scares and shit like that are scary, but they're just
It's scary if you do it right. Like if you do it right, it's
low
yeah,
caliber.
right. Yeah, it's kind of like an easy, cheap way to like shock people.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think like suspense doesn't even have to. The payout doesn't even have to come for it to be scary. Like it's
Yeah,
all in the lead up.
exactly. Yeah, that's true. And like obviously there's movies that do both, but like do they do them well? Most of the time not really. Alright, I'll do the next one.
This is a really simple one. Do you get scared easily?
I don't know. What's your definition of scared?
I guess just being like uneasy, like genuinely bothered and disturbed.
Then yeah, pretty easily. But if it's like, do you get like scared where it's
Like fight or flight, that's a different type of scared, I guess.
yeah. So I mean, worried and tense. I mean, a fair amount. So fairly easy, I have to say.
I mean, it depends what it is for sure, but for the most part, I don't get bothered and scared that easily. So that's why it like surprises me when I do get bothered by something. Not to sound like a hard ass, but like, if it's like fight or flight type of scare, then yeah, I kind of would be scared easily depending on the situation.
So let's see what we're on.
20.
Okay. What is the most objectively scary movie?
Honestly, dude, I think for the time, The Ring is the most objectively scary movie because at the time everyone had a VCR, everyone had could relate to it in a way. So I feel like that was
Yeah,
the perfect time and the perfect idea for a horror movie.
I remember hearing about that movie and not understanding that it wasn't real, and it just like terrifying
That's
me,
not fun.
and like just being absolutely terrified by the idea of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, this is hilarious. I was watching someone, I forget who it was, but they said they saw The Ring, and when they went to sleep, they were so scared of the movie that they would put their TV against the wall so that she had no room to come out of the TV.
Yeah, it's such a terrifying concept. It
Yeah, it
essentially
is.
be like forcing kids to genuinely be afraid of their smartphones. Like, think about if you could do that right.
That would
You
be
would
a brilliant idea because everyone has a smartphone.
you'd be like strong arming an entire generation that's just
Yeah, right.
terrified.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. I'm surprised no one's done that yet.
I think they have to a certain extent. They just haven't done it like well.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure someone's done something similar. And the last one, should we do the last one? Because we kind of already it's kind of a, I don't know.
I have a couple other questions that I
Okay.
think we could ask.
Okay.
If you had to make a horror movie or manga or story, what would yours be about?
I don't know. I would probably do something along the lines of Silent Hill, where the monsters all are metaphorical and have like meanings to them. Like they all have like an underlying like meaning to every monster. So it's not just senseless random monsters. They look and behave like for example, they'll behave like a certain emotion. So it'll be a monster that represents like hatred or something, and it'll be really aggressive and stuff like that. I always thought that was a cool idea.
Fair enough.
What about you?
I would make a comedy horror about basically the ghosts are actually punking people when they're doing hauntings. And it's like, so you'd follow like a group of ghosts that are actually punking people when they're doing their terror, like when they're doing their shit. It's like, hey guys, today we're gonna fuck this family up. We're gonna scare the shit out of them. And it's literally like, it's a ghost entertainment show.
That's actually a brilliant idea.
People are actually sitting there terrified, thinking that they're getting haunted, but it's really just like ghosts dicking around.
Well, they are getting haunted. I think that would be, and they would have to get like good actors for the victims, because just to make it like really write home that they're like terrified. I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's a really good premise. I wish that I could like figure out a way to kind of pitch that to somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea. Well, guys, this is Lucid Rain and the Halloween special, so
Hope you enjoy this and happy Halloween. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.